And we have drones that are identifying people using facial recognition programs. Police in some countries are then showing up at their homes because they have been violating the quarantine. We have drones that can take the temperature of people.
All right, so in the midst of this pandemic and the restrictions that people have and what the government is doing, there's a real question, a real battle taking place between individual liberty and privacy rights and what the government is doing in the name of public safety. Julie Grant took a closer look.
This is the Volusia Sheriff's Office. Please adhere to social distancing guidelines.
Drones in the sky keeping an eye are just one of the ways we're being watched. But before we sound the surveillance alarm, giving up our privacy rights happened long before COVID-19. We asked legal expert and Duquesne University law professor Joseph Sabino Mistick for his take on the privacy debate.
Americans have rarely hesitated when asked to trade their constitutional rights for added security, added safety. We see that with public housing applicants who want to get a unit in a public housing community, and they may have to relinquish their protections against unreasonable search and seizure, the Fourth Amendment rights.
The entire country experiencing privacy changes after 9/11.
We began to see warrantless searches and warrantless wiretaps. We've seen secret courts and secret trials take place. So those represented major shifts in our degree of rights, in our rights to privacy.
COVID-19 is occurring when surveillance capabilities are at an all-time high and already all around us. Our every move can be tracked by our cell phones and our cars.
Big Brother is here, but we've invited Big Brother to come here, and now we have to deal with the negative aspects of that over time.
State officials in New Mexico are examining cell phone data to gauge social distancing.
They're just using aggregate data. We don't have any idea who any of the cell phone numbers belong to, not just in New Mexico, but nowhere in the country.
Governors have broad powers in times of emergency.
That's why this power resides with the executive, because the executive is the one branch of government that can make a swift decision, and that's what's most important in times like this.
It's clear that our aggressive strategy to slow the spread has been working and is saving countless lives.
Our leaders must balance the interests of society with our individual freedoms.
I hope we're going to have a vaccine, and we're going to fast track it like you've never seen before.
Then we'll be facing another privacy issue, whether a COVID-19 vaccine should be required.
Now, in Jacobson versus Massachusetts in 1905, the United States Supreme Court ruled that even mandatory inoculations, mandatory vaccination programs were legitimate in the interest of the safety of the community.
The court saying individual liberties are not absolute and comparing the government action to self-defense.
Just as individuals can defend themselves, the community can defend itself as well. And sometimes that takes precedence over the interests of an individual.
To put it simply, Professor Mistick says, remember the famous principle from Cicero, that the safety of the people is the supreme law.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more concerned about the Constitution and eroding rights and eroding liberties because it's the government that's jumping in to take a look at all this. And where are we right now? And what is going to happen? Let's bring